Meanwhile, on the Ultimate Supreme Executive Chairman Drag's flagship...
This is starting to become annoying. I'm not sure why I bother with you incompetent idiots. All right, I'll try this one more time.
Ah yes,
You
the
are my most
famous
elite
Commando
troops.
Ninja
I'm
Blarg.
sending you down to the planet's surface to destroy those troublemakers. Now go! Oh, and if you have to destroy Gadgetron to get rid of them, so be it.
Oh snap.
Alright, not much time to think of that. Now we need to get to planet Kalebo 3, like I mentioned, where one of the main places of Gadgetron is actually situated. In fact, there isn't...
This seems to like watching a TV series in the late 90s, early 2000s. I can't make up its mind whether it wants to be 4x3 or 16x9, so it has both.
In fact, while there is technically standard exploration on this particular planet, there is technically a bit less, because in this case your objective is more streamlined, especially considering we are approaching the end of the game, so as a result, you know, it's more to be expected that the branching paths are starting to converge. Also convenient, there you go, all of that. But yeah, when it comes to actually the enemy variety, obviously these particular variety of Blargs are actually the toughest. And obviously they will be much more recurring in the final level of the game, people to see. Also, gotta love that to be on brand, the Gadgetron building has literally a vending machine, you know, proud and exposed right at the entrance. It's such a simple thing, but you know, it serves to keep establishing, you know, the hyper-consumerism of the galaxy. Like they could have easily just, you know, do like with the other planets and put the machine near the space ship, you know, landing pad, but no, they want to be extra cheeky.
Of course.
Also, in this case, dodge the train car.
Fun.
TJ Fixman wasn't writing for the series
Not
yet.
yet. We need started
No,
with Tools of Destruction to be able to see eventually. Now, I don't remember who were the writers instead of the PSP games, since those were handled by a completely different studio, but again, all in due time. The very important thing we need to know is that for these first 4 games in the franchise, the writing team was more or less consistent. It was just a matter of who was dropping and who was staying among the 2 recurring ones.
Well, the writers for this game were Brian Hastings and John Lally.
Yeah, like I mentioned, because, you know, we wanted to... Well, I was wondering, you know, how much experience they have, and like we mentioned, you know, this was literally one of their first jobs ever, if not the first. I also love that.
Train eats your heart out.
Like, I also love that a couple of moments in which you actually notice that the grind boots are not still completely centered. There is a bit of jank despite everything. And we got a gold bolt in the meantime, because why not?
Lovely.
Ow.
The name of the game is Grinding, kids.
Specifically for this section. Which leads us to...
Hey, we finally get to meet the help desk girl. I hope she's cute.
What should that matter?
Oh, man.
Come here often?
Actually,
Oh yes,
I work
expect
here,
a lot
so
of
I come
lovely
here all the
robo-ladies
time.
in this franchise as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Because
Monster.
Metropolis is a cornerstone in the movie industry.
Take this. It's a
Much to
mathematics.
Ratchet's
It will be
disdain,
very
because he
helpful.
doesn't like the
I'll
metallic.
see you later.
Bye, sweetie.
I mean, and I think that is established almost immediately in the first game is that Clank scores.
Gadgetron
I guess it's
mathematic can be
the
used to
fascination
find
of
secret
the,
areas.
the nerd,
Just go to
demon,
map
the
screen,
intelligence.
and all secret areas
Anyway,
will
the
be highlighted on
Map-O-Matic, which will be a staple of the franchise, is a late game addition that you have to usually earn, or find your way to get it. But as a trade-off, it basically reveals all major collectibles on the maps, so it's perfect for backtracking. And being completely optional, you can potentially, completely avoid it as well. So the fact that you don't even have to pay vaults for it, in this case, is basically the game giving you a freebie. Now on to the main quest instead, having to, clean up the palace. And there you go, because it's the Gadgetron, testing facility, it also involves a room where the gadgets, and the weapons that you purchase in the game are properly tested. Again, whoever, in the team conceptualized the level design for this one really thought about making it in a clever way that is, very organic with the universe, without having to be just a simple, coat of paint to another, futuristic city level. So proper for that.
You explode and you become currency.
So, like in Scott Pilgrim?
They are a literal living vaults when you get down to it.
Because in Scott Pilgrim, when you defeat the enemy, they turn into coins.
Of course. I believe Ratchet is not only is he a mass murderer, but he's also a
war
fraudster. Yeah, he's a war profiteer. Literally using his victims for profit.
I would like to remind you, Dweebs, that as proven detailedly by Cadicarus, Spyro was already like this on the PS1 days by favoring both factions in the war between Zephyr and the port level in Spyro 2. So...
I mean, at least the gems came out of the enemies as opposed to, being the enemies.
True, but, clearly Spyro was not taking any side and just, fueling the conflict, so he was just taking that to the extreme.
So that explains his attitude in A Hero's Tale. He just doesn't care anymore.
But Dwibs, it's called A Hero's Tale. Isn't he supposed to act heroic for the tale?
Well, I mean, that game was developed in the UK, so maybe we think heroes are overrated.
I mean, remember, Dwibs, weren't you the country who had to name them Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles?
Yeah, because, ninja was a taboo word at the time.
Clearly.
Yes. Ninjas will, corrupt our children or some shit.
Definitely.
So apparently the UK does like their heroes.
Yeah, but that was the 80s, Jonah. A Hero's Tale came out in 2004. A lot can change in the intervening years.
That explains Manchester Black from What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
I'm guessing. Okay. But then again, by 2001, yeah, because the Recess movie has ninjas in it, so I'm assuming by that point the UK was okay with ninjas in media.
Yeah, we were okay with ninjas. I mean, hell, Power Rangers Ninja Storm was intact around here.
Okay. The thing is, you called them Hero Turtles, but how did you explain their attire, since they wore masks, bandanas even, and pretty much wielded weapons you would expect a ninja to have?
That I don't know. I don't have access to any UK cutscenes.
Well, I do. I do because that's the version I got. Thanks, UK. Fortunately, my country was seen to remove the rechange, and they just call it Ninja Turtles, basically. So but we still got the episodes from the UK.
And honestly, sorry, go on.
No, the basic gist of it is that they're still ninjas. It's just that the UK didn't call attention to it, Jova.
It's funny because, you know, the whole aesthetic is based around ninjas. Like, the only quick fix I could see them saying is they're not ninjas, they're actually samurai, aka the heroic counterparts to ninjas.
I wouldn't be surprised if the soccer moms who were complaining about them using ninja weapons in the first live-action movie were from the UK. It would make sense.
Will Samurai Pizza Cat ever release in your country? Well, I think he had a different title.
Probably.
Also, if I have to be honest, the whole changing to just Ninja Turtle, which also my country did, I argue it's not necessarily for the better, but at least it can make sense, because up until the most recent animated movie, because of the choice of voice actors in, well, any dub that I can think of, or at least I heard of, the characters never sound like they're actually supposed to be teenagers, so...
Admittedly, one could argue that's kind of been a thing in, like, almost every iteration of TMNT, but I think it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just rolls off the tongue. Like, part of me does wonder if legit the original creator just went with the name Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it sounded cool.
That's what a lot of people speculated, because, you know, it's something a bit similar when a lot of parody comics, you know, involving stuff like Power Rangers thought of similarly.
It also has to do that, you also have to remember that the title was originally thought up as like a parody. So the teenager aspects of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like, they didn't really think too hard of it because it was just meant to be a satire. It was meant to sound silly to begin with. So,
which is kind of ironic because, holy cow, people took what was supposed to be a silly parody actually deadly serious, to the point where it was apparently a matter of contention that the 80s show was considered too silly.
Well, here's the thing. The humor of the satire angle of the original Mirage comics is that it's super serious to the point of absurdity.
Excuse me, sir. I was wondering if you were concerned about the, invasion?
Son, our defenses are the best money can buy. Don't give it another thought. You ever been on a hoverboard?
Yeah, once or twice.
I am in search of a hip young star to represent my newest line of boards. Someone the kids can look up to.
And I am your man.
If you can beat my test bots in a race, that job is yours.
Alright, we need to do another skateboard hover race, unfortunately.
It's kind of like think of it like the second Expendables movie, right? Where the plot is silly and ridiculous. And our main bad guy is called Veron, for fuck's sake, right? But the movie takes itself completely seriously to the point where it becomes funny. Like, the fact that they're treating this silly material with all the seriousness in the world is where the comedy it's a nuanced sense of self-awareness.
Oh, I do get that. The problem I have is mainly people who legit took it seriously, and like that was their issue with the 80s one, since a lot of people would then go on to praise the more serious 2000 show, which, let me make it clear, I love that show too. Gave Sam Rico as Donatello. But I do take issue with people who say, like, oh, now this show absolutely gets the message, even though I would argue that it's serious through and through, and it's not really trying to be, you know, satirical, essentially.
See, the thing, me and Deji have recently rewatched seasons 1 and 2 of the 2003 show. That show can also be that show can be just as silly as the 80s show at times, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, considering one of the companies involved, I'm not surprised.
It's like a lot of people...
But like the premises, like the very plots and the overall concepts, they can also be pretty silly when you get right down to it, honestly. It's just that the difference is that they take it more seriously, basically.
Which, of course, came to a head with the crossover. Oh boy.
Well, the crossover is its own kind of worms. That's a whole nother spiel. Moving on.
Technically still a part of the 2003 show, but fair beans.
I mean the problems of that crossover, that's a whole nother can of worms. Than what we're talking about.
But the reason I bring it up is, like, I feel like even the creator of TMT, I think, took it a little too seriously. Again,
well, one of them, to be fair.
was terrific. Now I just need you to say a few words about our hot new boards.
Huh? Now?
Of course. Just look into that camera right over there and say what comes naturally. Rolling.
Hi. This is Ratchet for,
Meet your new
Gadgetron
hero, kids. He has a potato
and if
face.
you,
Yo, dudes.
It'll
the
get
freshest
better.
board is easy. Check out the
Clank,
new
stop.
MC88 from Gadgetron. It's so hot, it's cool.
Yeah, Ratchet's face says it all.
Wrong guy. That was something.
Hey, I was thinking, do I get a discount on gadgets now?
You have to
I think
be
the other's a
with
bit out
Is
of
it just
sync.
me or is the
Yeah,
syncing
I was
jam?
noticing
Yeah,
that too.
it does that. It happens a couple of times. Mind you, in case you're wondering if it's just for the first game, I found it a bit of an issue also in some of the future titles.
Gadgetron Hologuse
it might
Let
be
me
another.
guess, remaster.
No, it might be just another case of my PS3 not wanting to collaborate
I've
with
been
it.
looking at
You will instantly be disguised as a sentry bot, preventing detection by all sentry bot security systems. Press the circle button again to wave at fellow sentry bots, who will then deactivate force fields for you. Caution, use of any weapon while disguised will deactivate the Hologuse.
There you go. Again, it might be just, my PS3 but is not collaborating and these recordings are relatively old, on their own. So I will still experimenting with what I got gone with.
Oh yeah, I've been looking a bit more into the Japanese localization of the games, and I gotta say, some of the titles that Japan gave the games in this series are actually sound kind of cool. We've got Ratchet and Clank Galaxy Sentai Q Force. Ratchet and Clank Parallel Trouble Rift Apart.
Okay.
Ratchet and Clank 2 Gaga Galaxy Commando. Ratchet and Clank 3 Charge Galactic Rangers.
Interesting change from up the arsenal.
Ratchet and Clank 4 Giga Battle at the Edge of the Galaxy.
It's certainly a more alluring type of marketable titles than either Gladiator or Deadlocked. Those are not even technically bad, it's just that, sounds more intriguing.
And Ratchet and Clank 5 Clash Miri Core of the Dodeca Galaxy.
Okay,
Yeah, they're very anime-esque
that
titles.
one is just weird because it's for Tools of Destruction, which, sure, that in itself as a title doesn't seem particularly, descriptive of what happens in Tools of Destruction, but, the Japanese one is not that much either, so...
All right, so
Okay.
yeah. No, see, I've played the PS3 games. And I don't really remember the cutscenes ever going out of sync with the audio, so I think it might be your PS3.
You will have to destroy those sentry bots. Make sure they do not press that alarm.
I can tell you this, Pedro, it did happen. The prime example that happened with Tools of Destruction happened to be as I was seeing it, as I was recording. So it wasn't a thing that happened in post, but as I was recording.
Oh, sure. No, I get that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it might be your PS3, not your recording.
Well, it has
It's
happened already in the
weird.
past because the whole separation between 30 and 60 frames. Also, just to mention also about what's going on, I really don't like this stealth section, mostly because you move as slow as molasses. I get it's part of the point about a game of, hot and cold with this particular manufacturer robot, but holy shit, it's like I'm feeling getting old just by looking at it.
I get it. It's the idea is to implement a sense of challenge so that you can't just blow through the level, but I do feel like this feels like a case of obligated difficulty, in the case where it feels like they felt like they had to, rather than this feeling like a natural escalation
Oh, I
of
don't even think
difficulty.
it's excessively difficult. It's just that, the pace crawls to a halt because, even for us, this is a stealth section, I guess we need to be more discreet and, making you feel more the atmosphere. But I'm sorry, I would much more prefer to enter in and start blasting like Bruce would.
Oh yeah,
if anything, this
Like,
is
well,
yet another thing that the 2016 game actually improved on this.
But yeah, I mean, admittedly, that's part of what I mean by it feeling like obligated difficulty. Like, not even excruciatingly hard difficulty, but it feels like they went, well, we gotta have a gimmick and one that challenges you, and like, it feels like they added this just so that you couldn't just blast through, when arguably blasting through would be more fun, essentially.
And also, let me slightly rephrase this, because, I'm slightly unfair, because not necessarily as a Hologuse, but something equivalent to this came back in Ratchet Clank 3, so you will be able to see it soon enough. And not only the pace is actually better, because you actually are relatively fast in moving, but it's not just a matter of standing still and doing nothing, but in the difficulty instead is put by having rhythm-based sections that that serves to prove your loyalty to the people that you're moving. So again, it's a better implemented idea at the very least. So relatively early on.
Ratchet Free is easily my favorite of the original trilogy, and I guess, to be fair to this level, you technically don't always have to use the disguise. If you really want to, you can fight certain robots.
Sometimes you have to, in order to not fool the guard. The gist of it is that it's not about the guards attacking you, but pressing the button that is in the room, which will automatically activate the defenses and blast you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to, enter in without having to use the Hologuse.
That is true, yes.
Also, I need to... Can I just try the bus land for once? There we go.
Lovely.
Spyro did not have problems in tracking with his headbutt in Spyro 2 and 3. I don't know what happened here.
It's weird, I don't recall the butt bounce having to be that precise for those targets. Then again, it has admittedly been a bit of a while since I played the original Ratchet on PS2, but who knows?
You can visualize when the situation is dire, because there's a flickering effect, those particle effects that surround the robot. When that is happening, you need to use the Hologuse, otherwise if you enter here, the defenses will be activated. Anyway, this is important. Clank is meeting his mother.
Brother.
I tried, Mom. I know.
Hey,
Another
look, the
holobot.
sister.
My fellow Blarg, our synthetic world is now fully functional.
Thankfully, the computer is willing to help
However,
us,
there
it
is one
seems.
small
Looks like the Blarg planet is almost
This pathetic lump of a planet.
Oh.
Due to some blunder.
Well,
Looks
like the war actually arrived at Ratchet's home.
But no more. Behold, the Deplanetizer, the most powerful laser
How many
ever created.
planet cracker weapons do you have?
I have to wonder if his real goal isn't making a new planet for his race, but just trying to sell all his weapons of mass destruction
You
to
will
the
get an
media
answer
and
to that
market.
question towards the end, Jova, don't worry. So yeah, Ratchet, it looks like the thing became very personal now, didn't it?
Is going to pay.
Again, it's all part of Ratchet's character arc, the idea that, you don't necessarily have to be involved personally in something to be a hero and help someone else, but if you slack your potential, there is a risk that you will be involved
If we're gonna do
personally.
this, we need to get on to Drek's ship. And then we can find out where he set up that laser.
I will try to make you proud.
And we shall never see this computer again, only a passing mention in a cracking time where this origin would be retconned into being programmed, so to speak. Again, more on that in the future.
I guess part of the reason is, well, the computer is kind of stuck in this area.
It really strikes to me that TJ Fixman, looked looked at these early games and was like, yeah, this is fine and all, but let me just, try to rework. He basically pulled a Geoff Johns and applied a retcon to expand onto the existing material.
I want to be a bit fair. I definitely do get the inkling that while this wasn't made as like a completely closed off starter, I do get the feeling that, they did make this without really considering for the future.
Obviously.
And
Again,
I'm not even going to hold that against them. It's like, for all they knew, this was just going to be a one and done project.
These early games are basically just about, while still having, relatively, serious matter, it's just to have, classic, sci-fi, opera, stories for the years to go around. While instead the Future Saga focuses more on character introspection about the origin stories of both the characters involved, which is still continuing technically to this day, and this is why people are still asking for another title after Rift Apart, because we're still kinda in the middle of a cliffhanger that has to be resolved. I mean, although characters are missing in action, but that's the all I can say right now.
I have hopes that we will see that through to the end for Sly series, but yeah, the ball is currently in Sony's court.
Alright, oh god, Ratchet,
that.
why you're flickering?
Well, remember, thanks to that Insomniac leak, we know that after they finished Spider-Man and X-Men, a new Ratchet and Clank is also in the plan in the schedule after
Anyway.
that, as well as a new IP.
Well, at the moment, one of the companies being struck again for that voice actor strike, so it could take a while.
Anyway, we grabbed another staple, the Bolt Grabber, which essentially extended the reach of which you can attract the currency. So, it makes your job much easier to achieve. This will be also in conjunction with another gadget that I don't remember if it's even in this game, I don't think so. But otherwise it will still be a staple. Something that will essentially allow you to crack all the boxes in area with a single, airstrike, basically, with Omni Wrench. I'll be able to demonstrate as the games do go on, which basically makes you farming in a particular area more convenient. Alright, then tune in for the next part, where we try to sabotage Chairman Blarg's ship. See ya.
See ya.
See you then.
Bye.